They lost everything. Their city destroyed, their temple burned, their people dragged into exile in Babylon. For 50 years, it seemed like the end of Jewish history. But then, a twist no one saw coming. A Persian king, Cyrus the Great, issues a decree. He does the unthinkable. He sets them free. He funds their return and commands them to rebuild their temple in Jerusalem. How did a foreign conqueror become their Messiah? This isn't just history. It's the most shocking comeback story ever told. But how did it all start? Canaan, around 1800 BCE. In the highlands and across arid valleys, three figures moved beneath vast skies: Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the patriarchs of a people yet to become a nation. Here, they establish a covenant with one God, a radical concept in a world awash in countless deities. Bound by promises and rituals, their lineage would reshape history. Generations later, adversity leads their descendants to Egypt. At first, sustenance and shelter, then oppression. Centuries of enslavement forge both suffering and resilience. In this crucible rises Moses, a leader destined to confront Pharaoh himself. With plagues and miracles, he leads the people out, an exodus through deserts, blazing beneath the sun. At the foot of Mount Sinai, thunder and smoke encircle a mountaintop as Moses receives the Torah, a law unlike any before. Around 1200 BCE, Joshua leads this nation back across the River Jordan into Canaan. By 1020 BCE, the people crown a king. David unites the tribes and secures Jerusalem as the nation's capital. His son Solomon brings an era of grandeur, building the first temple, a symbol of national identity rising in golden stone. But after Solomon's death, unity splinters. The kingdom divides, Israel in the north, Judah in the south. The end comes for northern Israel in 722 BCE at the hands of the Assyrians, closing one chapter of the First Temple period, while another waits to begin.
In the late 7th century BCE, the small kingdom of Judah found itself precariously situated between powerful empires. For decades, Judah had survived as a vassal of the Assyrian Empire, paying tribute to preserve its independence. But in 612 BCE, everything changed. The mighty city of Nineveh fell, and the Neo-Babylonian Empire emerged. Under Nebuchadnezzar's leadership, Babylon rose to dominance, while Egypt watched from the south. Judah was caught in the crossfire. Its kings navigated these turbulent waters by shifting allegiances. In 601 BCE, after a bloody but inconclusive battle between Babylon and Egypt, Judah's king Jehoiakim saw an opportunity.
Egypt may yet prevail over Babylon. We must break free from Nebuchadnezzar's yoke while we can.
This betrayal will not stand. Jerusalem will pay for its treachery.
In 597 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar marched on Jerusalem. The city fell after a brief siege. Jehoiakim surrendered the city, and Nebuchadnezzar plundered Jerusalem, exiled its elite, and installed Zedekiah as puppet king.
Rule wisely, Zedekiah. Your loyalty belongs to Babylon.
But in 589 BCE, Zedekiah, influenced by Egyptian factions, rebelled again.
We will not bow to Babylon forever. Egypt will support us.
No vassal shall rebel twice and survive. Jerusalem will be made an example.
The siege lasted 18 months, bringing famine and desperation to the city. When the walls were breached, Zedekiah tried to flee but was captured. He was forced to watch his sons die, then blinded and taken to Babylon in chains. Jerusalem was burned, Solomon's temple destroyed, and the population exiled. Judah's independence was erased forever.
The first temple, the sanctified heart of Jewish faith, was destroyed and its sacred treasures pillaged. The people were torn from their homeland and taken in chains to the distant lands of Babylonia. This forced exile was not merely displacement. It became a test of their very identity and endurance. As they were led away in chains, they looked back at the smoke rising from their beloved city. Jerusalem lay in ruins, its people scattered across foreign lands, but their faith would somehow endure this darkest hour. For almost 50 years, Jewish communities in Babylonia gathered along the canals of the Tigris and Euphrates under foreign rule. While some found ways to adapt, pursuing lives as artisans, merchants, and scribes, the ideal of return to Jerusalem burned in their collective memory. Prophets such as Ezekiel and Daniel provided spiritual leadership, reimagining how Judaism could survive and thrive outside its sacred center. Though we are far from our holy city, the Lord has not abandoned us. We will carry our faith in our hearts. My child, we came here as prisoners, but we will not die as slaves. We will see Jerusalem again. The burning desire for return never died, passed from generation to generation like a sacred flame. Through decades of exile, they held fast to their identity, their traditions, and their unshakable faith that one day they would return home. Yet the wheel of history turns, and Babylon itself falls. In 539 BCE, Persian banners rise over the city walls as Cyrus the Great seizes Babylon in a swift campaign. The arrival of Cyrus introduces not just a new ruler, but a new vision of imperial governance, one of religious tolerance and local autonomy. In 538 BCE, Cyrus proclaims what will come to be known as the Edict of Cyrus.
Thus says Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord God of heaven has given me all the kingdoms of the earth and has charged me to build him a house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah.
For Jews in exile, the decree is nothing short of miraculous, both political liberation and a validation of their faith. They see it as the hand of providence working through the Gentile king.
We are free to return. We are commanded to rebuild the temple of our God.
The impossible has happened. After decades of captivity, the way home stands open before them. Preparations began in earnest among the Jewish communities. Nearly 50,000 people would make the formidable journey back to their homeland.
We carry with us not just our possessions, but the hopes of generations who dreamed of this day.
Cyrus had ordered the return of sacred vessels once pillaged from the destroyed temple, objects imbued with immense significance. The journey from Babylonia to Jerusalem was arduous. The caravans crossed arid land, braving dangers from desert raiders and unpredictable weather.
Stay strong, my people. Every step brings us closer to the city of our fathers.
Despite hardships, anticipation built as they neared their destination. After decades of exile, they were finally going home. At last, the first glimpse of Jerusalem appeared on the horizon, the city of their dreams, though bearing the scars of destruction. Upon arrival, the returnees were confronted by harsh realities. Jerusalem's walls remained in ruins, and the Temple Mount was a desolate heap.
Here stood the house of our God. Here we will build again.
Spurred on by faith and memory, the exiles began work by re-establishing the altar, allowing the renewal of sacrifices that had ceased for decades. The return from exile marked a profound transformation. Faith had endured calamity, and the longing for home was fulfilled through an unexpected act of grace.